Hey, Ellen.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hi. When are we gonna chat?
Soon I hope because
I know you needed to get done.
I have something happening on Friday. They're gonna come evaluate Pam and my needs and
Is that who's gonna do the evaluation? The vets?
no, um,
Oh,
the vets I'm looking to pay for things. The
right,
particular letter that I sent you, um,
right.
that's for a an up.
No, I understand that. I didn't know if they needed to do an in-house interview too or something.
Well, we don't know yet. We're gonna my daughter set this up, so it's she. I gave her control over something, and I don't have all of the facts. She said,
Oh yeah. I gotta let some people in, but I know I'm in the middle of doing stuff like that for my mom right now. And I know, is it Bay Path or Springwell that are
"Yeah,
coming on Friday? Good,
um,
because I just had an intake meeting with the Hi Beth. I just had an intake meeting with them last week for my mother. And
uh,
even if she does qualify for services and she agreed to some services, but it's a 3 to 6 month waiting list from there.
wow, okay,
But I had to get her on. I mean, her needs are minimal right now and she barely qualifies. But um,
yeah,
but one of the things we learned is that she can get reimbursed for her Medicare coverage A, which is $165 a month, and she can get some food stamps, which is $20 a month, and any other services don't have a copay on the Space Bay Path Springwell services. So even if she gets the minimum right now, like she's paying $50 a month for medical alert, and they have a medical alert system that they'll give her for free. So that'll save her another $50 a month because not only is she in need of has some unmet needs, but she also has financial struggles. So
yeah,
she
well,
doesn't admit it, but I know that she's not in the best shape.
we're middle class poor,
Yeah, right.
so we make so we made we designed it enough so that we could live okay. We're,
Right.
we're not struggling, but on the other hand, it falls out of the parameters. So,
Well, right. The needs are definitely unanticipated, and the cost of everything is going up just so quickly now.
well,
Especially food. I mean, when I was going shopping for my mother, it killed me what she's. I mean, she doesn't buy that much, but it's expensive, and she's got a fixed income.
uh,
So anyway, I'm around a
we'll,
lot,
we'll, we'll talk. I should have
especially
called you
Wednesday
today.
and Thursday.
I was out working.
Today I wouldn't have been able much. I was still getting ready for tonight, so I probably wouldn't have been.
I was out
I had the
working.
grandkids all weekend, so
Oh
I
well.
had no
Did you
downtime
have
this
fun?
weekend.
Did you have fun?
Yeah, the kids are great. Yeah, my granddaughter has what I'm calling tactile issues, and so um, most clothes are very uncomfortable on her. And she had lacrosse Saturday at 5. We were supposed to take her to, and she could not get into her uniform to save her life. And she was crying. She was like, "I want to go, I want to go," but it wasn't physically comfortable on her, and so she couldn't stand to wear it. And she didn't. She
Did you
didn't get
put
to go to
something
lacrosse. I
on
guess. Oh
on
yeah.
a,
Well, we tried every. No, we tried everything. We even called FaceTimed her mother, who was away on her 40th birthday, to have her show me what to do to help her feel comfortable in her clothes. And I couldn't get it right. Only mommy could do it right. So she missed lacrosse, but so there were things like that. But that was probably the worst part. I mean, she went to bed great. They were fine. They were good. They're just at different stages, having a 7-year-old and a 1-year-old.
yeah. I got a 7-year-old and a 4-year-old, and
I know,
we're talking two different animals.
right? And then put a 1-year-old who needs 2 naps a day, 2 hours each, and a 7-year-old who wants to go do it. Like I can't. I gotta put him down, or nobody's gonna be happy. So but it's
Now,
busy.
there are many connotations of putting them down.
No, I just meant to, in my head, is putting them down for a nap, and you know it.
I know what you meant.
Yeah, no.
My niece, we went to my daughter's yesterday, and my niece said the same thing, and I said, "No, I mean, did you mean that you were going to put her down?"
You know that's not the case. Silly boy. You're an instigator.
Me?
Yeah, I know.
Does anybody agree with her?
I think Andrea will.
No comment.
Oh, takes
Very
the fifth.
diplomatic.
Yeah, I know.
I
No
love
kidding.
Alan, so
Oh, me too. Who doesn't love Alan?
that's right.
We can hardly see you. You need a little light on you there, Andrea.
Well, in 3 minutes, we're going to be going black anyway, right?
Yeah, probably. Not a
Hey,
lot of
Tom, how
people
you
on
doing?
so far.
Can you hear me, Tom?
Tom's muted.
But that doesn't mean you can't hear us.
I know. I hope he can hear us. Can you hear us, Tom?
Yes,
Hit
I
the
can
space
hear you.
bar.
I'm using a new laptop.
Oh, learning curve.
So do you know how to turn it on?
Clearly,
Does
Well,
it-
it's new, but I haven't used it. It's
Can't you
actually a couple
reboot?
months old, but I haven't used it much.
Is it plugged in? So I've watched this program called the IT Crowd, and I find it funny. It's a British take, and the guy works in IT, and they have a reel to reel, and when the phone rings, it automatically turns on. Did you reboot? Is it plugged in? And it goes through a series of the exact same questions that every single person on the phone calls.
Oh, because it's an IT help desk.
Right.
Oh, I get it.
Well, tonight our microwave started beeping out of nowhere, and then it was showing like an error code. So Paul's like looking at it. He's not very handy. And I said to him, yeah, you got to go throw the breaker switch, because that's what we do every time. And it worked again, thankfully.
So the next time it happens, write the code down. Go to the internet, type in the brand of the machine, and then say error code blah blah blah, and it should give you what the error code actually means.
Yeah, I did it in the past, but since we know how to fix it, I'm not gonna bother looking it up.
Well, but it might be something, I don't know how old it is. Maybe it's under warranty or something. It might.
Not anymore. It's about 7 or 8 years old. You know what they say about appliances now?
I know. What do they call it? Built-in obsolescence?
Yeah,
That's what
and it's pretty much almost everything we had here, and we've been here not quite 10 years, has been replaced at least once.
Wow, you've been there 10 years already?
Yep, next month is 10 years.
And it was brand
Wow.
new, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think we did our kitchen over 15 years ago, and we've replaced the refrigerator, the dishwasher, and the microwave.
Awful.
And the cooktop is fine and the oven is fine. When they're two separate, one's a countertop cooktop and one's a wall oven. And cross
Hi,
fingers.
Hi, Charlene.
Hi, everybody. Yep, coming in.
Charlene, I had a question for you. Do you remember when you were doing your woodpeckers?
Yes.
How did you find your woodpeckers? Did you just, they just fell upon you, or did you go stalk them?
Well, the elusive one is the red-headed woodpecker.
Yes.
And I had to use eBird to find him because right now he's only in one place in Massachusetts.
Wow.
And at the time I looked for him, he was only in 2 places. So he was the hardest to find. And then all the others I just had to find. I mean, 4 of them I have in my backyard.
Okay.
Why, how many did you find?
There's only 7 in Massachusetts.
Right, I didn't think there were that many, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
because I have 3 or 4 in my backyard.
Right. But the red-headed one is very, very hard to find.
So did you find it?
Oh, yeah, I found, it was out in Belchertown. Right now,
Of course she did.
there's one in Ipswich.
Wow.
I had that question come into my mind a while back, and I said, Cheryl
What about
did
it?
a project, and I was wondering if she sought them out or just came across them somehow.
Yeah, the, what's the one that's not named? It would,
It's
something.
not named.
Well, no, okay, there's one that, a sapsucker,
That's like,
yellow belly sapsucker, which is a little harder to find too.
That's a woodpecker.
yeah.
Yes, yellow belly sapsucker and,
They used to be prominent around here too.
yeah, and there's another one that you don't see as often. I mean, besides the pileated or pileated, whatever. There's the, northern flicker.
Oh, we get northern flickers here.
Yeah, you see, they're a little, you don't see them as much as your other three guys. So an
Yeah.
interesting story about them is that the little one, what do you call the, little, what, I can't, the one you see in the backyard.
Downy
Downy?
woodpeckers.
The downy woodpecker he made himself look like the other guy. What's the other one?
Hairy woodpeckers?
Hairy woodpecker, because he didn't want to be picked on. And he noticed that the hairy woodpecker never got picked on. So he's one of the few birds that morphed into something else.
No kidding.
Yeah.
We have them both, and we have
Yeah.
red-headed and northern
No, you don't
flicker.
have red-headed. You have red belly.
Red belly, that's it, red belly, yes, thank you.
Yeah.
But we have like, how many bird feeders? We have 2 suet feeders and 3 other feeders, so pretty soon we'll put out the hummingbird feeder and the oriole feeder, and it's not for me to take pictures particularly, it's just that we like to watch the birds, and I have a window about 4 feet away from me, and they're about 8 feet outside the window, so it's good entertainment.
I want to get started. I was kind of hoping Frank was going to chime in tonight to watch, to let people in and see if we can monitor chat, which we don't usually have a big issue with. And I thought Erin was going to come. Erin didn't leave yet, did she, Charlene?
I don't know,
Yes.
Aaron.
She left already?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it was Tuesday.
Oh, I thought it was next week she was leaving. All right. So California and then Hawaii.
Oh, nice.
But she's never been to Hawaii, I don't think. She's very excited. Anyway, welcome. Charlene has asked to join us. Not quite sure why, because she probably knows more than I do. But again, it's nice to have there's several people who know various things, and it seems to be collaborative, and it's always helpful. I'm not proud. I don't know why I started this project. But anyway.
To learn more about how, like.
Well, I have, that's for sure. I felt comfortable in it, but I certainly learned a lot of details, and especially this week because I took a look at keywords, the filter bar, and metadata in a real deep dive, and I'm certainly deep dive into keywords, and we're going to start there first. We're going to, and within that, there's some using of the filter bar, and there's some more metadata. And if we feel we need it, I can certainly jump deeper into metadata and the filter bar, because when I dug deeper into keywords, there really was a lot more that we skimmed over it, we talked about it. But again, sometimes I feel like we go really fast, and I thought it would be useful to do deeper dive. And the thing is, as we talked about the first couple of meetings, hold on, Susan's coming in. There's more than one way to skin the cat. That we can all do something differently. We can, especially when it comes to organization, it's the way your mind thinks. We all think in a different way. We all have different blocks and folders in our head and the way we think. And so my way is certainly not the only way. It's just the way I do it. We shared a couple other people's ways quickly, sort of how people do it. And keywords, the biggest reason you want to have keywords is if you want to search for images, or if you want to filter by images in a quick, efficient way. Some people don't need to do that. I actually don't tend to use keywords a whole lot, but I see, especially for smart collections, which we've discussed, I see the benefit. And I certainly could do some housekeeping I learned this week on my keywords. So with that in mind, before we begin, I don't want to, Sue Abramson had emailed me, and I think that other people may have this question as well. She didn't, hi Frank, she did not, you did not feel comfortable sharing your screen. Is that correct, Sue? You're muted. You're muted.
I think I can simply explain.
All right, let me.
I'm not as organized as you. Go ahead.
Well, and I'm not super organized by any stretch of the imagination, but here is, I'm gonna close this down. Frank, you're gonna monitor letting people in, and if there's anything on chat for me,
yeah,
right? Thanks. And now that you're here, how are you guys doing? I don't know if you want to update people or you wait till tomorrow night.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so Kathy had a distal fracture of her right wrist, of course, being right-handed,
Who did?
my wife.
Oh,
And she has a small compression fracture in her lumbar region of her back. So she's on drugs and patiently waiting for surgery, which is scheduled for Friday on her wrist.
Oh,
And so we'll see. According to the doctor that we saw on Wednesday, he said that last Wednesday that she should be fine for the trip to Europe in May. So that's not an issue. It doesn't appear to be. And so we'll see.
well, we wish her well,
her
of
our best.
course.
Yeah.
And I will ask people to shut down their mics and their cameras too, just to save, I don't know, hopefully that helps us go a little bit faster. And I don't know if I can turn my video off now that I'm not, can I do it? Yeah, I can turn my video off, but I'll keep my mic on. And if you have any questions or concerns, you can leave them in the chat and Frank will raise them as appropriate. So let me open Photoshop too. Sue was having an issue with the way things round trip from Lightroom to Photoshop and back. And why don't you explain the issue and I'll try to create it. And you can tell me, no, I do it this way. No, I do it that way. And you can walk me through your process.
okay. When I'm in Lightroom and I want to export a picture to Photoshop.
Yep.
So I choose where I'm going to send it. And it's going to be JPEG and size it. But I don't always remember, even though I have the box checked to rename again. And so sometimes a picture of a puffin will go through and it'll be called a hummingbird when it gets to Photoshop because I had neglected to change the name.
Okay, so I never rename it anywhere in that process. And I can tell you how I can tell the difference. So I'm going to take this image. And so do you right click or hit the export button or do something like that? Photo export in.
Where are you now? In Lightroom?
I'm in Lightroom.
Yeah, I just say export. Yeah, right there.
You click on the export button.
Yeah.
Excuse me, that's not what I meant. We want to edit in. We don't want to export.
No, when I'm finished editing back and forth to Lightroom and Photoshop, I want to export it.
Correct, but we're not there yet. That's at the end of your project. That's at the end of your process. The beginning of your process is getting it from Lightroom to Photoshop. So do you right click and do edit in, or you go up to photo and then edit in?
Yeah, that's not my question though. That part works fine.
Well, we're going to go the whole process so that I understand your question.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to start from the beginning and go through it. So how do you get it from Lightroom to Photoshop?
Right. Well, if I'm working on it in Photoshop, I'll say edit in Photoshop. But I'm
okay. No, we're starting in Lightroom though. All your images you bring into Lightroom first.
Yes.
And do what you want to do in Lightroom, and then you want to take it to Photoshop. So you like either right click or go to photo and go edit in Photoshop, right? Okay.
And then I do what I need to do in Photoshop.
Right, and we'll
save. Yes.
All right, so we'll make a And we'll make a edit of some sort in Photoshop. So it's your exporting that's the issue?
No,
Okay,
it's back. Okay, so I've said, yes, save the changes. It goes back to Lightroom with the
Yep.
changes I made in Photoshop.
yeah,
And then I'm going to export it now to use for competition or something.
okay,
So I'll go to export.
okay. So it is the exporting, that's the process, that's the issue.
Yes, it's the renaming the export. Yeah.
Okay, all right, great. So I misunderstood. I thought it was the round tripping process.
No,
All right, so if you export
yeah,
any image, and I've got my presets for Gateway, and I'm gonna choose this folder, choose a specific folder, and it's going to be, let's say it's gonna be made pictorial, because that's what's,
okay.
that happens to be where it actually went to. You're gonna navigate, you know, from in this area, you're going to navigate where the picture is going to go to. And the last time I exported something was May pictorial. So that folder was remembered. So I'll just choose that,
I do the choose, yep.
right, and choose. And then I'll
And-
name this, you know, owl.
Yes, but sometimes I have another picture that I've sent before this one.
Yep.
It might have been a hummingbird instead of an owl. And so since I haven't typed in owl, it comes up in Photoshop in my file for Gateway competition, for instance, as a hummingbird. And that was my
Well-
stupid fault for overlooking that, but I have several now in my folders that are misnamed. My question is, how do I deal with that? I can't rename them in Photoshop without messing up Lightroom.
Well, you don't need to do it anywhere. If you need to rename an image, don't do that. If you need to rename an image, is everybody there?
I'm
Did I
there.
close? Oh, good. I didn't shut down. I thought I shut down Zoom by
yeah.
mistake. Okay, thank you. So I've exported this image to doesn't matter what I pick, but May, let's say, pictorial, and I have this resting butterfly, but I have 3 pictures that all say resting butterfly. Is that what you're thinking? Because you didn't change it in the export box?
No,
Okay.
I have 3 pictures that might say, one says resting butterfly, another one might say sleeping butterfly, or whatever I decide that day to call it.
Right.
And which is
And-
all very stupid, but what I want to do is how can I rename it now once
Well,
it's.
and anytime if you want to rename it on your desktop, you just go to the image and right click it here and rename it.
Yes, I know, but doesn't that
Okay.
mess it up its location in Lightroom?
No, because that's exported. That's already
Okay.
exported. It has nothing to do with whatever the
Okay.
picture was called in
That's
Lightroom.
the answer I was looking for. Thank you very much.
Great. Great. I think I didn't understand the question was obviously the issue.
Sue, if
Yes.
I can ask a question, Sue, did you say that when you're done with the image in Lightroom and you're ready to send it like off to competition, you export it into Photoshop?
No.
Into a file in Photoshop. Well, it's a file.
Oh, so you don't have to do that. Unless you want to do something specific with the image in Photoshop, like something that Lightroom can't handle, something that has layers, a composite or
Oh,
something.
I do that with the back and forth. Yeah, I edit in
Right.
Photoshop.
And then you save it. So now this image,
Yeah.
you know, this little owl guy, pretend he's ready to go. And I don't think anything's been done to him, but, and okay, I'm happy with this. This is how I want it. I don't need to send this to Photoshop to put it on my computer.
No, I can just send.
You export it from Lightroom. Once it's done and it's in Lightroom, you right click and do edit. You just hit the export button. So
Yeah,
you just hit the export button and you follow the prompts here that we did this a couple weeks ago, maybe last week.
yes, exactly. But when it comes to naming, I have by mistake named the same picture different names at different times.
When you export, though, it has nothing to do with Photoshop.
Well, I'm exporting it into a folder for competition. Well,
But
okay.
it has nothing.
Okay,
Well,
it's in the same-
it's still outside of Photoshop, though, right?
Yeah, okay, it is.
So if you have the 2 with the same name, it'll come back to you and say, You can't have, oh, do you understand you have, you have
Oh, I
two-
know that. Yeah. Yeah.
But that only happens if you're putting it in the same exact location, the same
Right.
folder. If you're putting it in a different folder, you won't get that overwrite message. Like right now, if I try to export this into the, oh, for some reason, I still do the old fashioned way. I need to do this. I'm going to go into May Pictorial and I'm going to call it Tree Alien because I just named something in there, Tree Alien, last time I went in there, right? And I go to export it. And I should get a message. Oy vey, why are you going to prove me wrong? I obviously didn't do something right.
Well, I think you've answered my question by saying, once it's exported, I can rename it in Photoshop without upsetting Lightroom.
You can't, not in Photoshop, on your
All right,
on
well,
your
I
hard
could- all
drive,
right.
on your hard drive.
On my hard drive is what I mean to
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess I
Okay.
didn't do this. Let's move to trash. Let's do resting butterfly. Okay. But while we're discussing this, I might as well show people because I don't think I went over that when I exported it, when I did exporting last week anyway. So I am going to export this and call it, what do we say it was? Oh my gosh, resting butterfly. So if I happen to, I mean, maybe this was sticky and you didn't, because I didn't click on the GCC preset. So and I just used the same settings as last time. I forgot to change the name and I hit the export and I get this problem. And it says, do you wish to overwrite the existing file, skip the existing file or rename the exported
I've
files
gotten
to
that.
avoid, right? So,
They can rename it and they'll add a
But-
number or something.
but if you try to put it in a different folder, I believe you won't get the same error.
Oh, okay.
I think it's only when you go into the exact same location. I want to test that. Let's just do desktop and call it resting butterfly. Everything else is the same. And now it's exporting it. So it only will give you that overwrite message if you're going to the exact same location.
Okay.
All right.
So all these misnamed pictures that I have, it's the same picture with different names. I can change it in my folders because it won't upset Lightroom.
So,
Okay.
Frank, again, another question. When you export, do you have the button click that says add to catalog? Or not?
I don't remember it, so probably not.
So if you're adding it to the catalog.
No, it's not being
then
added to the
you can-
catalog.
and if you're not adding it to the catalog, then you can rename it anything you want, just in the file.
Okay.
If you've added it to the catalog, then you should rename it within Lightroom.
My screen looks different on export than that one does, but I thought they automatically went into the main catalog. No,
No, depends on how
Okay.
you set it up. Like I have a preset for gateway competition images. So this just blanked out the custom text and it allows me to decide if I'm going to put it in a specific folder or not, choose the
Okay.
folder. Because if I don't do it this way, then it will always remember the last settings. And like you saw, we'll put it in the same folder as the last time I went into it. But now it clears it up and I have to choose a new folder to put it in.
okay.
But these are the
If you-
presets that I set up.
If you look in that top box where
right
Okay,
here.
I will check mine, but I don't think it's checked.
Do not
if
check
you
it.
have that checked, it will be recatalogued in
No,
Lightroom.
I'm pretty
If you
sure
don't
I do
that
not have it
won't
checked.
be.
Yeah, the default in the program is not to have it checked.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's
And
not.
and if you check it, now you're going to have multiple images of the same image but it's going to be named differently, but it'll be the same image in your catalog. And I see no reason to bog down your catalog.
Right. Okay, I think I understand it now. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for your input, Frank.
Joni,
Yes, ma'am.
I didn't catch up on the last week's,
Right.
whatever. Did you talk about keywords last week?
No,
You're gonna talk
This
about
week.
them tonight?
right. Last week we skipped into exporting because I hadn't put that on the program at all. And I thought it was important. It had come up in before a gateway meeting a couple weeks ago about people submitting for competition and image size and different things like that. So I thought, oh, I didn't do anything on exporting yet. That's huge. So we did everything on exporting last week.
Okay, 'cause I have a
And
question.
what?
I have a question when you get done with it. I mean, you might answer my question.
On keywords or
Yeah,
exports?
on keywords.
Oh, well, hopefully I answer it. So with that, let's get started. And again, some of this will be a little bit of a repeat, but I'm just going to kind of start from the basics and build. The keywords are tags on your photos. That's all they are. They're a tag. And in fact, if you look at an image that has a keyword on it, there's badges. And I don't know if I can make this, oh, I can make this bigger. Hold on. There are badges that look like a little tag. It's like a sale tag. And that's how you know that this has a keyword. And if you look up in the right side panel under keywording, the keywords for this photo are here. And those are searchable. It's a searchable field so that you can find images in various ways, which we'll get into. If you don't see that tag, you go up to the view menu and you go to view options. And a box will open up and you can do either the grid view or the loop view. The grid view is when you have a whole bunch of pictures. The loop view is when it's just a single image. And under cell icons, you can pick and turn on and off thumbnail badges, flags, quick collection markers. I don't use quick collection markers, or I don't know, I don't have one saved, but this is where those thumbnail badges, you could turn them on and off here. So if I save this, well, you can even see now my badge. Oh no, it's not saved. So now I probably have to close Lightroom and start it back up again, and that those tags would not be on there anymore. So I'm going to go to view options and put them back in because I don't want to do that. So if yours aren't there, that's where you would go to turn them on, and you'd have to restart Lightroom to see your badges. But that should be the default in your program. I don't think I changed that on purpose. There's a variety of ways that you can add keywords to your images. The first one is on the import process. The thing about the import process is you want to be careful about what keywords you choose to put on something. This is, most of these images are owls or birds of prey that I took at Wingmasters several years ago, but not all of them are that. You could see when we first got there, I saw this beautiful shot of the moon in the sky, so I took that. I think I did a few blurred out just backgrounds because the fall colors were so pretty. So there's no birds in that. So I didn't want to put birds on every single image when I imported them. Although I could have, and then just taken them off the few that didn't have birds on them. That would have been fine too, but I just chose not to. If I wanted to add birds to some of these pictures, I could choose all the pictures. There's several ways you can do that too. I could choose the images that I want. Let's just put all of them in here. And take that one out. All of these images have birds, and I would click. Hello. My cursor is really slow tonight. Sorry. I think because Phyllis made me make it this big cursor. She's not here, so I can complain. If I start typing bird, you can see that bird shows up because it's a word I've used in my keyword. And I hit enter, and I hit enter again, and it's added to all those pictures. That's one way to do it. Another way to do it would be, let's see, Charlene, can you open your mic? Do you remember what town this was in? Because I could add the location.
No, I don't remember. Was
This is in Western Mass, but I began with an L.
I'll look it up.
I tried that before class tonight. I couldn't find it. It's not on their website. Let's say it's Lancaster. I don't know if it is or not. I can always change it later. Let's see, first of all, before I do that, I don't want to do that. Hello, hello.
I think it might be Leverett, but I'm not positive.
Okay, good to know. Okay. All of these pictures were taken there, so I can do Command A and auto sync is on. And how do you spell that? Leverett, like Leverett?
I think it's Leaverett. I'm going to try looking it up.
I can always change it later. Leverett, like that. Leavitt. I wasn't listening.
Hang on, I'm trying to find it.
Leverett.
Leverett.
Right? So now that word is added to my keyword list down here. And if I'm not going to need that word again, but you can add, let's see, what else would you say about this? I could add, well, we have wingmasters in there already, but you could add a word. You could, if it was there baby plovers in there, I could add baby plovers. I could just check that here and it would be added to all those images. If you've used similar words recently, this keyword suggestion area will suggest different. Maybe there's an osprey in there and you could add osprey. And if you have a keyword set, that's a group of words that are almost like presets for keywords. So in outdoor photography, it could be landscape, it could be spring, summer, fall. These were all fall, so I could add fall to that. And all those images, if I ever searched on fall images, this would come up. And if you wanted to change this, there's a few in here that come with Lightroom. And then you can actually add you can either edit a set in here if you want to take outdoor photography, and maybe there's another word, instead of people, you want to put water and change that. Now, every time you go to the outdoor photographer, well, water is not there because I didn't spell it right. Let's go to edit set and spell it right. And now in outdoor photography, water is there instead of people. And if you want to create your own set, I saw one photographer today that used colors, and they used red. It's going to be hard because it's any partial letters, blue, orange, yellow, green. And I'm just tabbing over to these, black, white. What else? Brown, another popular color. Am I forgetting? Purple. So I have 9 colors. And when I save this as a current preset, I would name this preset colors. So now in my keyword set, I have a set of colors. And if I wanted to add any of these colors, some of the pictures have yellow on them. So I could take these 3 pictures and add yellow to them. And this one has blue. So I would just click on blue. So I'm not adding all of the colors to all of the images, but I'm choosing, here's a bunch with red. So I'm going to highlight these, even this one, and add red to it. So now this one does not have red. This one should not have red. This doesn't. This has water because I didn't spell water right. but this one does have red in there. And if we choose the whole folder, we can see there's that asterisk right there. That means that some of the images have bird, but not all of them. Some of the images have blue, but not all of them. If it doesn't have an asterisk, then all of the images in the highlighted set of images has it. Now see this one, I already want to get rid of that. Let's edit this in here. I'm going to have, because I misspelled it, there will be in my keyword list. Oh my goodness. I want to correct the spelling of it on the keyword itself. So I'm going to double click on it and I'm going to correct it here. And save it. So just by double clicking on it, or you can right click it and edit the word. And now when I go back up here, they all say water. So entering keywords. Let's make sure I didn't miss anything there. Any questions in the meantime? Oh, I will say one thing. When you're typing in here, you're not changing anything that's up in the actual area. You're just adding more words. Click here to add more words. And when you add them, typically you would have, you could have a description that's 2 words with a space. And Lightroom will only recognize things that are in between commas as a specific keyword. So you could put North America here. Comma, USA, let's say. And I think they're all highlighted still. So now it recognizes North America because it's in between 2 commas, and USA, and you see they're in alphabetical order too, USA. And when I go down to the keyword list down here, it's just as easy to scroll down to North America. So now North America has been added as a keyword. And because it's checked, you know that these images all have North America in it. They all have Osprey in it. If I uncheck Osprey, I can take that off of these images. And I think I added something else in there that didn't apply to all the images. What was it? Birds, blue, fall, no. All of those they still apply. So I could just take that. Was it baby plovers? Did I do something with baby plovers? Maybe it was just on some of them. No, I didn't. But I saw the ospreys was checked, and I don't think there are any ospreys in this set. So I by unchecking it in the keyword list, I could immediately remove those from all the selected images. Okay. Sorry, just checking my notes. So no questions in chat, Frank? Okay, I do see something.
No.
Okay, there's something in chat. Lemonster, wasn't Lemonster?
Yeah,
Leverett.
Lemonster.
Okay. Well, as you can see, this keyword list gets very long, and there might be some that I don't even have any images in. I think in the very beginning, before I understood Lightroom, and you can see these are mostly older, except I don't know what happened to 2021. I was putting the keyword, and I wasn't good about putting keywords. There's lots of things I could do some housekeeping on here, believe me. But I would never put a year in a keyword right now because my organizational system is already by year. I already know the year and I can look it up a lot easier that way than this. So I could find all the images that have 2012 on them by, when I highlight it, there's an arrow, I click on the arrow and I can highlight all these images, Command A, and I can just take that 2012 out of there. And they're all taken out. And now if I look at my keyword, there should be nothing with 2012 in it. I can right click that and delete that keyword because I can't imagine ever needing it. It's going to take a second because my computer has been running slow today. And now we're in the whole catalog, I think. Same with any of these. 2019, I'm going to right click and delete that. I don't have any pictures that have 2019 tagged anyway. Airplane, I don't know why that's in there, but it is in there. So if I ever did have an airplane in the picture, and I might even have one or two, I could click on this and add it to those images. But it gets pretty long-winded here. And you might want to do some cleaning up, and you can do a folder system similar to we have in our catalog when organizing our files on the left side. We have subfolders with folders within them and various types of folders. Well, we could set this up here too. We might say within North America, and I don't have a lot of images now that have North America, but I could go down to North America. And let's say we have Massachusetts as a state. We could just put all the ones that have the states. So MA is going to be up here somewhere. I could take this and drag it down and nest it inside North America. So now you see the arrow next to it went from a dotted to a solid. So you know there's folders underneath it, and then Massachusetts is there. We know that Boston is in Massachusetts. So I can go up to Boston. And and I obviously have not done this at all, but if I have a day that I have nothing else to do, I could clean this all up and take my Boston images and nest them all in Massachusetts. Cape Cod, Cape Ann, Falmouth, all of that.
In your mind, what was the advantage of that again, please?
Eventually, this list would be a lot shorter, and you can just click on it and drill down. You can also obviously just look up a keyword here, so that when you're adding a keyword, you've got new shots from Boston, you want to add them all in, you can grab them from the key list without typing them in.
I sometimes just hit the first letter and it brings me right down to that.
It's true. You're absolutely right. I'm just telling you what the program does and what you can do if you want to.
Thank you.
That's all I'm saying. So why Boston didn't come up here is because it's running slow, I believe. I have ones in Boston. I know I do, unless I just changed something stupid when I was trying to do something else. Did I put them in Canoe by mistake? No. No.
I see Boston up top, Boston University.
No.
Yep, up. Keep going.
But Boston is gone. I put it in another subfolder by mistake. I was trying to scroll down. There it is. And my cursor let go while I was waiting to scroll down to North America. I mean to North America and Massachusetts. So I'm taking my Boston and I'm scrolling it down and going to North America. And I'm just going up to the top and the bottoms of the panels to scroll. But you have to be careful not to let go like I did before and lose it. Go up, go up, go up, go up. Won't let me go up. Or let me go down, but it went down so fast I skipped past North America. There we go. And North America, Massachusetts. It looks like I'm dragging Philip there, and I don't want to do that. So I do not want to do that. I wanted Boston, but you get the idea, I think, of how you can nest folders inside of folders, and eventually this list will be shorter. And of course, if you, I don't know why this isn't looking at Boston here. I should have just been able to do Boston. I could type. I don't know why that's not searching. It should just pull up the Boston folder right away. That's not weird. So see if there's anything else I could do here. You could do people, you could do, and do a bunch of those. You could do the colors again and choose a color folder and do all the red images, all the blue, all the things that you have colors in. I mean, really, it's really up to what makes sense for you, what's logical for you, what works for you. These keywords are stored only in this catalog. If you open another catalog, this keyword list would not be here. You do have to create it for each catalog. You can import it from another catalog, I believe. And I know that people sell lists of keywords or all sorts of organizational. For example, I think there's somebody that has all the bird categories. So if you were a big birder and you wanted to have your keywords, you could buy this keyword list from them, and then you could import import keywords and metadata. You can import keywords. They usually would, when you buy them, it's a text file, and you would save them on your computer somewhere, and then you would import them here, and then they would all show up in your keyword list. You can also export your keywords, and then you could probably import them that way. They would come as a text file, export that to your desktop, and then import them in from another catalog, into another catalog when you open a new catalog. If you want these keywords to be stored with your raw file, you would do that by I'm not going to remember where it is. I don't remember where it is. Hold on. It's on the metadata file. Sorry, folks. Talks amongst yourselves. I'm sorry. I can't find it in my notes. Where are your files saved? Metadata menu. Save. It's not. I think because I already have it saved to file, it won't show me. I have to turn it off. which I should be able to do by Command S, and that's not working. I need to get back to you guys about that. Mine already saved to all of this information, whether it's rating, flags, keywords, all of that is already saved on my folders to what's called an XMP file, which is right next to my raw file, so that if I ever import them into another catalog, all of that information goes with it. If you don't have that set up in yours, you would go to the metadata menu, and it's the keyboard shortcut is Command S. And maybe, what is the reason? Let's go to a different. No, it doesn't seem to matter. So if you want all this data, all your developed settings and everything else saved with your raw photo, then you'll want to make sure that you go to metadata and save the metadata to the file. Because these keywords that are on your images are only in your catalog. Well, this one doesn't have any, are only in your catalog unless you write the metadata to the file itself. Okay,
Shani,
yes, sir. Please
have
help
a-
me. I'm dying here.
So we have a question in chat from Beth. She's saying while cleaning up catalogs and renaming the new one and deleting others, she lost all of her keywords in her list. Is that something that happens automatically in Lightroom?
No, I think that, again, if you weren't saving, did you have the key? Do you know if you had the keywords saved in your metadata to the raw file?
I'm not sure. I'm opening Lightroom now and checking.
Right. Well, and one catalog could be different than another.
Well, it was, I don't know where all these catalogs came from. I had like 15 of them and I couldn't find anything, and they were all basically the same, but not quite the same. And I don't know. It's like Lightroom was just
They do.
playing
Lightroom
tricks
does.
on me. Yeah.
No, Lightroom does. Like if I was going to open a catalog, I'm going to get a list. Oh, that didn't work. Hold on. Every time Lightroom does, like not every time, but Lightroom has major updates from time to time. And when they do that, they create a new catalog in that update for you. And let me close mine and I'll show you. Because I have my preferences set up, I think you guys know, so that when I open the Lightroom catalog, it will offer me a choice of which catalog I want to open, because I work with the SIG catalog, I work with this catalog, or I had been working with the SIG catalog. It's taking its time to quit. Everything's taking
working on one catalog.
Excuse me?
I should only be working on, I only have.
Yeah, and most people do.
Working.
But my understanding is that when Lightroom does a major update and they create a new catalog for you, they call it version blah, blah, blah. Like mine is version 12 is my catalog right now. Yep. That's my main catalog. But I might travel and I might create a catalog when I'm traveling and then I import when I get back. So I have, those catalogs might be there too. Just see if this is okay. So now I can open this and I've got my preferences set so that I can choose which catalog I'm going to open as soon as the box opens up. Gosh, this is slow. I have no idea why this is so extremely slow tonight. It's behind. There we go. So if you see this, like this is the one I typically use. It's the V12 version 12 Lightroom catalog. Yeah. And that's the SIG one. It is 11. I used to have this master catalog 10. This was a specific ball game I did. It was a separate catalog. This was a separate one. my first catalog might have been this, and I have deleted older versions because you don't need them once you can delete them. I don't think I deleted 11 because I think 11 is the last catalog. So I keep at least the last one. And for whatever reason, I just haven't deleted these, but I don't need them. I don't need any of them. But I will open, hopefully this one that we just closed. So that's why you have some of the reasons you have different catalogs. Some of the reasons are you changed your system at some point and you created a new catalog and started from scratch. People do that. I'm not saying you specifically, but I mean, there's many reasons why you might have multiple catalogs. And if you don't know why you created it or what you did with it, I mean, it's certainly hard to, I wouldn't delete that Joni Rich master catalog. At one point I was doing a master catalog and a travel catalog, and I would go back and forth, and that system didn't work for me. Then I learned how to import from another catalog, and that system seems to be working for me.
So back to I mean, all my keyword list is mostly missing.
Can you import your keywords from another catalog? Have you tried that?
Oh, no.
So it'll be under metadata. I don't know if we can do this or not. This is still opening up. I am so sorry, folks, for the delay in this.
And the same thing happened with all my filters. Like I started adding them all back in again in Lightroom.
You mean like your
fast.
stars and your
No,
flags?
I don't. That's not a big deal. I don't think it's the Topaz and Luminar and all those.
Oh, the plugins.
External editors, yeah. I had to
Oh.
add all those back in by hand.
Right.
Which is probably okay because I had so many of them that I don't.
Well, again, when you update those, like I know Topaz, I went into Topaz AI today and it had like 9 updates or something. I mean, I know I hadn't used it in like a couple months maybe, but that's a lot of updates that it has been going through. So I think when it updates though in your catalog, as it automatically takes the old one out and puts the new one in, your edit in. I think most of them do that now. It used to be that you had to go in and manually do it, but I don't think you do anymore.
Well, I had to. I mean,
Oh,
maybe I didn't have to, and I just didn't know how to do it the other way. But
like sometimes I'll go from Lightroom into like denoise, let's say, and it'll say there's an update, and before I process it, I'll do the update.
yeah.
And then I don't have to, so next time I go in from Lightroom into Topaz, I don't have to update it again. It does update it in Lightroom. It does do something in the background. Oh, good Lord. I did just find in my notes I'm not gonna be able to do it even while the spinning wheel is here. If you go into your catalog settings, I did find it in my notes. The other place to, in your catalog settings, there's metadata and automatically write changes to XMP. That's another place that you can, to make sure all that metadata gets written to the image in case you bring it into another catalog. All that.
There's also something under preferences about restore keyword set presets. I don't, I'm just looking at it quickly.
I'll check it in a minute because this just got in catalog settings metadata. There's a checkbox here to automatically write changes to XMP. And what were you saying in preferences?
Preferences, or yes, under presets.
Yep.
down the bottom. And I don't know if this works or not. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. In there, there's a thing, restore keyword set presets. I don't know what it does, but I wonder if that.
No,
allows
so
you-
I think that's what that's going to do is when we were over here in keywording.
Yeah.
There's keyword sets.
Yeah.
And I think there's resetting these preferences. I think there are these
Okay.
three come with Lightroom, outdoor,
Yeah,
portrait, and wedding, I believe.
Default.
Right. I think
Yeah.
you're setting those back to Lightroom defaults.
Okay,
That would be my understanding,
Yep.
because it
Okay, yeah.
says restore keyword set presets.
yep, okay.
Thanks for trying that, though. We'll get into it. Okay, now I got my notes back organized again. Let me see. One of the things we saw when I double clicked on, and let me see, I'll do Ayla. There's a couple of things. When I double click on one of the keywords, you get this edit keyword tag box, and you can change the name if you love the keyword here. You can do something called add synonyms, and you can check if you're going to exclude this keyword on export. And for kids, particularly when I shoot children, I don't usually want their name included on the metadata in export. But I did choose to make her a person, and that's a separate thing, another way we can search, which we'll get to in a little while. A synonym is useful because maybe sometimes you, and I have an example here, if my thing will scroll down. I had some bicycles in an image, and I put, sometimes I used bike and sometimes I used bicycle. Well, if I decide I'm going to look up bicycle, but I want to make sure that I include any of the keywords that also say bike without typing bike, because I know I have these two words. I mean, certainly I could be more consistent and take all the bike images and make them say bicycle. But if I just add the word bike here, then if I search for bicycle, instead of 2 pictures, 5 pictures should come up. So I'm going to hit the / key to get my filter bar, and I'm going to search using text. I could do metadata either way, as long as something clicks. There we go. And searchable fields, search by keywords that contain bicycle. And nothing matches. Why is that? Did I spell it right? I did. Let's do metadata. It should have worked. This is like the worst class I've had yet. What the heck? Use keywords. Contains bicycle. Does anybody have a clue what I'm doing wrong, please?
Maybe you are in the, go to your, all your images.
Yes,
Right
thank
now
you.
you're only
Thank
in
you.
2000.
Thank you. That's exactly right. There are no images in this folder. Yeah, you're exactly right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
There we go. I have to spell it right. And so that still didn't work because the 2 of the bike didn't show up. If I put bike. That didn't work. That didn't work at all. Why didn't this save? All right, I'll give up. That should have chosen all 5 images, the ones that said bicycle and the ones that said bike. I'm trying it both ways to make sure I didn't get confused, but it didn't choose them. That was the purpose of synonym, as I understand it. Did it save this time? Did that not happen? Do I have to restart Lightroom for that? Are you kidding me? I hit bike. I hit save. I don't have to worry about these. I just hit save. And it shouldn't be reciprocal. I don't know why it's not. What's it? I don't want to close it again. I will find out if that's the issue, that you have to close Lightroom.
What's in bike?
These 3 images. These 3 images of bike.
What
What's
if,
in bike?
oh,
What are you
if you-
saying? What?
oh,
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
if you're trying to find all images with bike, why don't you get rid of date, camera,
I
and lens? And just try to find bike.
Yeah.
Well,
Claire,
I think the text would have done it to begin with. That's probably where I needed to do
but,
it.
But I mean, just get rid of the
And I
date,
think yeah.
get rid of date, camera, lens, and just search for bike.
yeah,
Well, that shouldn't matter though.
But what if these weren't taken
The
with
issue-
that lens?
It doesn't matter. That's not. I'm not using that criteria. The issue is that it's not saving. That's the issue.
Okay.
When I double click on this on bicycle, that synonym's not there anymore, and that's the issue.
yeah.
Okay.
And I don't know if I have to close it or not, but I will test that because it just took too long tonight to close and open that. Okay, now I changed my notes again. Let's see, was this first? This is second. This is. Edit tags. Frank, you were the one that when we had, and I didn't really remember this, and I couldn't find anything that had this happen. When we have, let's see, where were we? We were in the, see, now I can't even find the folder. Swing Masters. Filters off. And we had the asterisk. And that tells us that some of the images have blue, but not all. If we wanted to add that to all of them, we just deleted the asterisk. Is that what we did?
Right. If all of the images that you have selected,
Right,
it's saying that bird is in some but not all.
correct.
If you want bird to be in all of the images that you have
Right.
selected, you just go up into the keywords field and delete the asterisk behind bird, and that will now be in every
Right.
file that is selected.
So you can go in and click on this box under keyword tags and you can edit things here, whether it's removing the asterisk or changing the spelling of something or adding or removing a keyword. You can do it here, or you can do it here. Or you can add keywords if they're already in the keyword list. But that is what the asterisk means. I mean, I don't want to take the asterisk out of here for bird because I specifically don't want bird on this picture, you know, things like that. But that's what the asterisk means.
But that's very handy if you have a group of images within, and you want to just select like 6 or 8 images and have it apply to all of them. You can very quickly do it that way.
Yeah, once it's already set up.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the other, when we talked about this paint can, I learned a little bit more about the paint can as well. And I'm going to go to, let's go to, had a specific folder. Which I can search using my, all right, oh, here it is. Just saw it. Nope, that's not it. Okay. Let's do the same thing here, except. Oh, and I have to click on all images again. Okay. Oh, it actually was Ethan's. It wasn't his. Okay, so I have these images and I'm gonna right click and show in folder. Okay, so we have these pictures and some of these pictures have his sibling and some don't. So what I'll do is I'm going to take the spray can and I'm going to add the word Ayla. She's the older sister. And now whenever I touch a picture that has Ayla in it, that keyword is being added. Just another way to do things. This has Ayla, Ayla, and that does not. And if I put it on this by mistake and I wanted to take it off, I would hit the option, which is like an eraser, and it takes Ayla off. So now in this image that's highlighted right here, I put the paint can back, highlighted right here. I had add Ayla, but I took it off. Ayla is added to this one and this one. So you can use the spray can. And another way to do that, I'll have to look this up. Hold on a second. There are some keyboard shortcuts. In the metadata, you can set a keyboard shortcut. And this is just a different way of using the spray can. Is basically what it's doing. But if I set the keyword shortcut as Dan, and I set it, and now I turn with using the Shift K as a keyboard shortcut, that I can hit Shift K and add Dan. Oh, let's see, I have to add it. Shift K will remove it as well. I want to click this picture and shift click these 3 pictures and do Shift K. And I'm adding Dan to all of 3 of these images. And if I want to Suzanne, I'm going to set the keyword shortcut to Suzanne. And then I can choose the 3 pictures of Suzanne and Shift K and add that way. Just another way. But it's basically the same as the spray can. Is that instead of using the actual icon, you're using a keyboard shortcut for it. And this has got all 3 of them. So if I go down here to the spray can and I do Suzanne, and I can add all of those to that. Comma Dan, comma Ayla. And hit the spray can. And it adds to all of those. Questions I'm afraid to ask?
Can I make a
Questions?
comment?
Yes, please help me.
So what I do is, let's just say I went to a reunion, and some kind of armament thing, and I wanted to use the whole entire grid for the purpose of just spray canning. I can actually do a Z across or straight up and down. I can block it. I'll go through my images quickly with the spray can, and maybe I'll do 10 of them. And if you hold it down, you can go all the way across.
Okay. Are you putting them on all the images, the same keyword?
So yes, let's just say that I wanted to put musket on all of the ones I saw musket to.
All the ones you saw musket to, not
and
all of them.
And I took 30 photos of different things that all had muskets in it.
Yeah.
I just spray can the whole entire thing as I go through the grid system. But I'm doing it really, really tiny so I could see,
Right.
all of them.
Sure, I get that. I mean, let's go back up to, I'm trying to think of somebody that, where were those lighthouses in Falmouth? I don't remember where they were now, and I don't know if I keyworded them. I don't think I did. I was on a specific folder. Yeah, I mean, I was trying to demonstrate that, but I guess maybe my thumbnails were too small, so I couldn't do it. Did I get it on there? I did. So I'm trying to think of another one that I could do something like that.
You could put a spray. Let's just say kids shoot, and then what you do is you put it once in it. Just hold the spray can and just run your finger across everything, and it'll spray them all. And just
Well, like in this case, I have these. I mean, you can spray like this here. I mean, let's take the word child just to do it, right? And don't erase it. And now, I mean, you're saying, so just go like this. And it adds them?
Yep.
Okay. I just clicked on them, so that was a little quicker, just to click and drag. I guess I just would be concerned if I like went oversprayed. But again, if you overspray, you just hit the Option key and take it off and erase it. But that was just a little too quick for me tonight, I guess.
Right. It did. So I would do it on hundreds of them.
And that, see, and I don't,
and not 4 or 5. So
personally, I think it's just as easy to click on the ones you want, shift click and add to the ones you want. That way, that's not what I wanted. Clearly, it's not easy. Shift here and then Command to add her here, and then just type the name in right there. That's just as easy to me than hitting the spray can or doing a keyword shortcut. I'm just showing you that there are alternatives because we all do work in different ways. For me, this is the quickest way, in my opinion.
yes, for small batches, absolutely.
Yeah. I suppose if I had 300 images, that might be something that might be different.
So sometimes I set my can to clouds, and as I'm editing and I take 4 shots of clouds, I just use a spray can.
And that makes sense, especially you can start a smart collection that way.
Yes, it's in the smart collection.
Right. Okay.
Fred just mentioned that shift click is more precise. for dragging.
Yeah. Yeah. And this might take a little while, but if you have in your keyword list and you have people and you check them off as a person, and Alex, I would also take. Oh, I have 2 Alexes. I don't know which Alex this is. If you click on the people icon in your toolbar, and it may take a while. Oh, so I'm only on one folder right now. This thinks it's Evelyn, but this is not Evelyn. So I would change that to Ethan. And Ethan should populate automatically. He's not. Okay, that's interesting. And Ethan. So I'm just tapping through Ethan, and it should learn pretty quickly. I'm hitting enter. Eventually, it will probably pick up all the pictures of Ethan and stack them together, so they don't have to do this. This is Ayla. So it's another way to keyword tag and search for people, is using that people icon. And if there's more than one person in an image, which we're going to get to in a second. Let's just skip over to here. So if I go here, this has Ayla, Suzanne. Now this one seems to me, if you have to open up the picture, and it'll do different faces here. So that's Dan. You actually want to tag the near the square with a question mark of the person. Ethan's in here too. So that's what the people icon does. But in order to do that, I believe you have to have the keyword person on person that is checked there. Looking for other people's names. Dan. That's done. I believe that you have to have, I think she's got it. You have to have the person checked off in the keyword list on the edit. You know, double click the name of the person, the name. And that was a good lesson that I do always forget. If you want to look at the whole catalog, you do need to have, if you're going to do a search on the filter bar, you can look by different folders, but you can all, but if you want to look at your whole catalog, you need to be able to go up to catalog to all photographs. And we have that there, but. And Shirley, I don't, if I'm doing, oh, when I did metadata, yeah, I don't know what I did there. Now when I do metadata, it doesn't have that, the keywords. I mean, it does here. I can just do keyword. And then what do? Shut all these off? Remove? Is that what you were saying to do, Charlene?
You just click none.
Well, you don't, if you click none, there's no filters. If I'm doing metadata and I just want to do keywords,
Oh,
right?
But it doesn't allow you to enter it.
No. Only text does, I guess. The other thing, now how do I get those columns back? Add a column. Add column left. Okay, and so you can add the columns back in that way. Another thing that I found is, and I could change, now you have to designate what those are. Oh, that's what you meant. That's what you meant, Beth, is you could just change it to none
Yeah.
here.
If you don't want any of them showing,
right.
that's all.
Right.
But you did say if you click on a specific keyword in your keyword list, all those pictures that have that keyword will show up.
If I'm on
If
all
you're in-
photographs
Yeah,
and I click on what?
if you click on a
And the
keyword
keyword
in your
list?
list,
Yep, let's say
then all the-
birds.
photos with that keyword will show up.
Well, in order for all the photos with that keyword to show up, you have to highlight the keyword,
Right,
and then
yeah.
click on the arrow.
Oh, okay.
And
You
then
can
all
also-
of,
You can also just click on the number, like where it says birds. If you just click on the 221, it'll go to all birds.
Oh. Because my keywords showed up
they did.
somehow. Yeah, I don't know how. I don't know why or.
Oh, I thought it was the arrow you clicked on, but I guess it doesn't matter either one.
But
Or
nothing,
both.
but I'm not getting any. Oh. Oh, okay. All right. Oh, that's nice to know. Okay.
One of the things that I learned is that you can click on none under keywords and click on none, and all of the ones that I haven't keyword, then I could start working on keywording these. And I did start doing that a little bit today. So I thought, well, that was kind of cool if you want to start to add the keywords, and then that whole, organizing this list so it's smaller. And maybe I'll have time this week and I'll actually play with that and I'll have it come back all organized next week. What is this? Oh, that was from the Charles River Museum. I know what that is.
I have 68,000 photos without keywords.
Oh, I don't feel so bad. I thought 28,000 was because I didn't do keywords for clearly 10 years.
Yeah.
Do we need clarification on anything, people? I really am happy to try. I get up here and I do feel so flustered sometimes. And today I was particularly frustrated because my computer was slow and one or two things
It is a
didn't happen
complex-
as expected.
It is a complex set of information,
Yeah.
and you are trying to show multiple ways of doing the same thing. So don't kick yourself in the ass. You're doing great.
Not looking for compliments. I really truly do feel terrible about, and I think in front of Charlene tonight, because this is the first night, she's like, oh, someone said it was really good. I probably could learn a couple of things. And then she probably was like, oh, what am I doing here? Wasting my night doing this.
I think you were doing very well.
No, thank you.
I agree.
All right. Well, I'm not fishing for compliments. I really am thinking, am I really? I mean, each week we have less and less people coming. If that's any indication. Out of 38, 39 people that signed up, we have 14. But I will try to find out what, you know what, we have a minute. Let's just close it. Let's close it again and see what happens, even if it takes 2 minutes, right? I know when Erin comes back, she wants to do a little more rehashing over her whole organization of the catalog. And like Beth was saying, having had multiple catalogs and when you can't find an image, well, how do you find it? Things like that. So we'll probably have a little brush up on that. Wow, look at that, was a lot quicker. All right, so now let's go to bicycle. Or let's just do what we were going to do, search. Any keyword bicycle. I do not believe that this is case sensitive. No, it didn't do it. And if I go to bicycle here, oh, now it is there. That's interesting. Maybe I had it backwards. Maybe I have to search bike. And 5 show up. Yes. And you do have to close the catalog. So now when because on bicycle, I added the word bike. If I search for bike, bicycle and bike show up. I really thought it was the opposite. I thought if I did bicycle and added bike and search for bicycle, 5 images would show up, but it didn't work that way. You have to use the synonym. But personally, I probably would just make them all one or the other, to be honest. But there might be situations that you want it to be different. Usually you can make it one or the other. Well, at least this solved that one.
Sometimes in keywording, the more you cross-reference the same image with different synonyms, it's a way of searching. I sold more images that way by having a lot of different ways of saying blue.
Oh, so are you selling them as stock images?
Oh, I used to.
Yeah, because
and the more adjectives you use to describe your image, like the train of bicycles that are in a row.
Yeah.
You could put diagonal on it. You could put a red. You could put water. You could put
reflection.
The company's name, and later on you could search in your catalog for bicycle or this particular one. What is it? I can't really read it.
Stantiator.
Just put that in, and this shot comes up with all of the other bicycles that might have the same name.
Right.
So it's a way of searching, multiple ways. So you might not have just, there's so many ways to describe this. So the more keywords you use, the more you could find something different.
And in reading on this, that's exactly when you want the more keywords for stock photos, the better. And that's exactly why. And I did know that. I didn't have that particular need, so I didn't bring it up myself, but. Anything else? Anything else we should review again, or wasn't clear enough? I mean, I might be more detailed in the notes. And we can certainly just kind of still play with filter and metadata. We've done it in the past. I don't know that we're going to need a whole week on those. The filter bar is the / key. And if I click none, we have, let's see. The text drop down has multiple things you can search on, not just, you can search on the file name. I don't know, title, caption. I don't use that a whole bunch. Any searchable metadata. And then contains all would be, if you did contains all and you put 3 things in here, let's say, I believe it has to have, no, that didn't do it. It has to have images that have both of those words, which I thought the bike one did. So let's take this. I guess I haven't keyworded this. So let's add London here. Oh, that's a different photo. I wanted this one. Yeah. So let's add London to this one. And then if I go to the filter. Hello, where are you? I want to get off of that. Filter, and I put bike, comma, London. It'll just show that one image because that's the only image that has both of those words in it. If you do contains and you do bike and London, I guess all my London pictures don't have any keywords, but if they did, all my London pictures and all my bike pictures would show up. Does that make sense? And you can obviously search by attribute, and that would be your flags. I know your star ratings, your color ratings, edits. I'm not sure what this means. If I have them edited at all. These are non-edited, that's not right. I don't know what these two are, what this edit section is. But you can certainly pick all your flagged, and I'm in all photograph, all your flagged, or all your 5 stars, or all your 1 stars. It looks like 1 stars or more. So those are the attributes, 1 star or higher. But you can change this to equal to, and then it'll just be anything with 1 star. Rating 2 stars and less. So that's just 1 and 2 stars. So you can change, is it equal to, greater to, or less than? And I'm not sure what this kind is, what we're going to do with that. Well, if it said it, but if I look real closely, unedited photos, 5 star higher, unedited 5 star virtual copies and videos. So these are virtual copies that have 5 stars or higher. And let's go to none and go back to attribute and just do all images that are virtual copies. All images that are unedited but are 5 stars. That doesn't make sense in my system, but it's clearly, I think it's, I know why it is. It's this particular album is problematic, but. And then if I click none, I've erased everything and we go to metadata. And that's where all of these things, we can search by all of these factors. We can say the camera, focal length, shutter speed, aperture, ISO. How many times have I used my 24-78 lens, let's say? And I don't want, so I look at my 24-70 here. And even then I think I can, here's my 24-70, 26,000. That's probably the one I use the most if I look through the numbers here. Yeah, that's the one I've used the most, is the 24-70 f2.8 lens. But you can cross-reference that by ones that I used in, let's say London, let's say Italy. I just saw it. Oh my goodness. You know, if I want to know how many pictures I used with this lens in Italy. I mean, again, I'm just making things up, but those are the kinds of metadata that had an aperture of 2.8. It's only 2 images. Does anybody want to go over anything? What is this custom filter? Don't know. But there are all of these different things you can filter by to search, and all the images that have this criteria are flagged that have the Nikon Z 14 to 24 at f2.8. That's the filter bar. Questions on that? None clears them all up. And I think we did metadata once real quick, but the metadata is under the keywording. And this is information about your image that you can see and you can export it too. And you can customize this by checking off all sorts of fields in here. The file name, folder, rating, camera info, the lens and settings, the dimensions of the image. I think the make and model of the camera is in there with camera and lens setting, but you can take that out and break it down, I guess. You can add the shutter speed, f-stop, any information that you want that will be viewed in this metadata section of the right-hand panel. And just by checking them. And I do have the keywords, all the keywords turned on. And then you can make presets for this. And I want to do the copyright. That's what I typically do. And that's an old one that I've used, but so I click that in there, save as 2023. And I thought I did have that preset because when I import, I will usually do that. A preset that has the 2023 copyright. So metadata is just what information do you want to see about your image when you're looking at it in the library? And that will then get exported when you export your images. Questions, comments, anything to add?
So yeah, I see that there's also Italy will be added, or am I right about that? It's
The
you have-
file names there. Oh, keywords Italy.
so when you load the preset 2023, would
Yep.
Italy be added to anything?
No, whatever the keyword is.
Ah,
Oh, I see what you're saying. I don't want the keywords in my preset. You're right. I don't want I want to add that later. I want to see that, but I don't want to add it in my preset.
Okay.
I can add keywords, but not add the word Italy. And this might say it already exists, so I might have to delete it. How do you get rid of a preset then? You know what? I want to cancel that. Should be able to delete this preset.
Try right or left clicking it.
Right or left clicking. This,
Oh, go back.
go back where?
Right click it or left click it, whatever you do the opposite of. Now you want to edit it.
There. I can delete this preset. And now I can go back here, take out the word Italy, and everything else is the same. And I want to save this as a new preset and call this one 2023. So now this has a keyword Italy, but it doesn't have, let's see. Now it doesn't have Italy in it because 2023 doesn't have it. It's not going to be down here. But if I have this picture and it has the keyword Italy, it okay, now I'm confused about presets. Because I want keywords to show up, but I don't want keywords Italy to show up. I want whatever my keyword actually is. Oh, I didn't change it on all of these, that's why. So, because I usually do this on import. I don't usually do it when I'm already in a catalog. And so I'm trying to think, is there a way to have my 2023 copyright on an image? So it's two separate things. I think that this preset I don't need here. I need a preset when I import. I don't have anything to import right now, but metadata preset 2023. And then I add my keywords here. So the keywords will show up, but it won't show up in the preset only because I added them separately in my import. Does that make sense?
It sort of does.
So when I'm importing, I'll choose a 2023 preset to put my copyright on the images as I import them. But the 2023 preset won't have any keywords specifically in the keyword. The keyword button will be written, but will be checked, but there'll be no words in the keywords.
I see. All right.
But then when I make my metadata, I customize my metadata window, I will have keywords here, but I don't have to specify what keywords. Whatever keywords I've added to the image will show up here. So this image must not have Italy on it because it's not showing up, right? It doesn't. Some do, some don't. Probably because the ones that I probably keyworded only the ones that I starred or something. Because I didn't keyword them when I did the import. So there's two separate things. There's keywording when you import, and then you can customize what you can see of that image in this window here. So this looks, I mean, these buttons are all the same. They're exactly the same, with the exception of keywording, because you can't put a keyword in here. You can only say if keywords that are on the image will be shown or not. So this happened even the first time. I think I went through it so fast. I feel like it didn't really make sense. And I still feel that way.
Complex situation you're looking at.
Mm-hmm. True. And I haven't spent years and years and years and years studying it. I'm competent at it for my needs, and I'm learning as I go to share with you guys.
What does IPTC mean, Joni?
Don't know. International, let's look it up. unless somebody actually knows.
Do we need it
IPTC,
for anything?
probably. Somebody does. IPTC metadata. It's an industry standard for administrative, descriptive, and copyright information about images. IPTC. Must stand for something though, like International Photo something, right?
It could be a format that just stands for the way all the metadata codexes.
And why isn't Paul Lucia here? He always knows the answer. Oh, International Press Telecommunications Council.
So it's
The
like
file structure and set of metadata attributes.
it's similar to the ISO. ISO is a standard
Yeah,
format.
so it's the International Press Telecommunications Council. So it's a standard.
Yeah,
Okay.
like the ICC.
The ICC. Oh,
Or the FBI is a standard.
yeah. Well, that's an acronym, right? Federal Bureau
Well,
of Investigation.
it is an acronym.
It is an
one
acronym
case
too. Yeah,
and not in the other.
right.
But it's just standard. And the ISO used to be called ASA, and now it's called ISO because it's an international standard.
So certainly there are a lot of categories that have them.
And you could pick and choose which ones you want.
Of course. Anything else?
Just mention one thing on the metadata under the camera info. If you're in the habit of changing your file names when you import or whatever within Lightroom, if you have any reason to have to go back to the actual name that was set by the camera, in the metadata, you can select the field that's called preserved file name or file base name, and that'll keep the like DSC 00021 or whatever your file name is in there.
Where is that,
And I
Frank?
believe that's in is it in basic info? I have it selected. I can't remember. I'm trying to find it.
These aren't alphabetical either.
No, they're not.
I didn't see it in camera info. Content card, create an image.
I read fast, but I don't read that fast.
No, I was looking for like,
'Cause I have it selected.
here it is. Basic info, the second one down, preserved file name.
Oh, okay, yeah. The preserved file name puts the like .jpeg or .raw or .raf behind it. If you just select file base name, it's only the like DSC 2051, whatever. Yeah, by selecting the preserved file name, it will keep the extension also, whether it was a NEF file or an RAF file if you shoot Fuji, or I forget what Canon is.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think.
Yeah.
So
What
where
about
did you
original
find
raw
that?
file? Oh, it was in basic info.
Under in the
Yeah, metadata, I clicked on the customize button in the metadata window, and that brings up this window. And the first one is basic, and the second one in basic is preserved file name.
Oh,
So that's what the camera assigned it.
yeah,
Yeah,
But what about this original raw?
original raw file name gives you basically the same thing. It's the, like I just looked at one here, it's DSC 2530.NEF, so it tells you the actual, what was on the memory card in the camera.
Oh, same thing, but mine doesn't show anything here.
So it looks like preserved file name and original raw file name are kind of the same thing.
That's what I was thinking. But I have to. I don't like this. There we go. All right, I don't need the creator in there. The creator is always me. For this purpose, anyway. Oh, look at the capture time. I don't like that. Oh, 5:14. Oh, I was thinking it was like military hours, which I'm sure you can change to.
Yeah.
Hey, not to beat a dead horse or anything, but
Please.
I don't know where you're finding that,
What?
the metadata,
Down to customize.
In the library module, there's the metadata area that you open up. And at the bottom, there's a customize button.
wait a minute.
And when I click that, this window with all these choices opens.
Okay. I have to look. All right, I'll keep searching.
Did you see it?
No,
Really?
yeah, but this screen is too small for me, so I can't.
But it would be at the very bottom of your meta, if you open the metadata.
Oh, wait a minute. Metadata. Okay.
That opens up a lot.
Oh, customize. Oh, okay, I was totally in the wrong place. Okay. Thank
Next
you.
to metadata, there's a drop down with a whole bunch of other like presets of information. And it can get really lengthy. Like that's almost all the information you could have, the XF and the IPTC.
Okay,
But
I
the
got it.
but it's if you're in the default, do you see the customize button
Yeah,
now?
yeah, I do.
Oh,
Thanks.
Okay. Okay. So do we need to dial down, do a deep dive into metadata in Filter Bar, or is this enough for everybody? Should I do more research and spend a whole night just on that? I think it's pretty dry myself.
Yeah, but it's so powerful. But I'm not saying do another night.
Yeah,
It's a very powerful tool well, for somebody who keywords and looks for something specific, you know. So I mean, I do a lot of keywording, and I might say 20 things about one particular object. You
right.
know, just because I get some odd stuff, but I go looking for some stuff one day, you know, and I'm looking for something that has an oddity like a yellow handled brush,
Yeah,
just because I want a yellow handled brush. Or I remember I photographed it and I could use it for somebody's hair. You know, you never know how you think about how you took photographs. Like this woman on the top that you've got a flag on, to the top row, second in from the left.
Yeah.
So
a kid, I think, but yeah.
you could say so many things about that.
Oh, yeah.
You know, just to describe it. And, you know, can you see those roses? Oh, it's a little kid.
Yeah.
See it.
Geraniums.
Geraniums, but there's also yellow flowers. There's a reflection. You know, some people might want to
I
know
already tried
what-
to straighten this.
what's the steeple, or what's that object to the left of the boy? Yeah,
To the
in the
left of-
reflection in the window.
Oh, I don't know.
What might that be? I don't know. Things like that. Somebody might want to know that. But you know, there's an awning. Raj was showing you such, you know, great detail a couple of weeks ago on things that he photographs, and you know, each one of those things is a selling point to the company he's selling it for. But it's also a way of looking into a particular image that you photograph, and you want to. I mean, this guy, the guy in the window is great.
Yeah.
I like the hat. But that's why.
Yeah, he ended up being like the mayor of this whole festival. I didn't even know it when I took the picture because I was walking around before the
The
festival
mayor's
started.
window.
Yeah, he ended up like leading the leading the whole festival
How
down the
did you
hill. at
find
the end.
that out?
Because when I went to when this was earlier in the day, and then later on when I was at the festival, he had the big baton, and he set the whole thing off.
Oh, cool.
So for me, keywording, because I'm not selling, and typically
No,
I'm,
but
you know,
it's
no,
just finding stuff.
but right. But for me, it's always going to be more about what does this picture say to me? This was in the Dolomites. It was in Italy. It was the Festival of the Cows. It was, you know, there's things like that.
Mhm.
I
But
don't.
I mean, that alone, you know, is enough to keyword.
Yeah.
You know, just because you know you put all that stuff in and you put that thought into it, but you could do a lot of that. I use a spray can a lot. I mean, I
Yeah.
mostly have it on clouds, but I have a bunch of them.
Yeah. Cool.
Metadata can be pretty powerful too. As an example, I was getting ready for the multi-club to see what images I could submit for the multi-club this year.
I see where you're going to go with that.
I went into metadata and I selected date and I scrolled down to 2022 and I clicked on April and I see that I started on April 10th. I clicked on Sunday, April 10th, and then I scrolled down to 2023 and I clicked on the latest date and shift click on the latest date in 2023. And
Yeah, can
all
you
of a
do that
sudden-
slowly? So
Yeah,
you,
okay.
so you,
So
oh,
you go-
you
so
do
click on
2022.
Now scroll
that-
down to, since we can't start until April, right?
Right.
Go to April of 2022. Scroll up to April.
I am trying to, my fingers and my, thing are not working together.
Okay.
So
now
April, and
click
it's
on
April,
April, and
8th.
you can't start before April 9th. So find something that starts at like Sunday, the 17th. Okay.
Right,
Okay. So that's your start. Now scroll all the way down to 2023.
right down here.
Yeah.
Yep, yep.
And yeah, so now open up 2023 and you can go all the way through the end of March, shift click to that. Hold down your shift key and click on Sunday the 12th. Okay, so you've now selected every image that you've taken from last April until now. And now you can go through these are all the images that you took that are eligible for multi-club. And you can go
Plus, you can.
find
Plus,
one you
if you went through and you needed a carrot, you know, because that's what the category was. You hit the
If
you
you
know,
had
say
keyworded that,
you know, name keyword carrot.
right.
You know,
Yeah.
or you name keywords, and then you look for the carrot.
So you can do multiple filtering on
Right.
So it,
Ooh, that was a great idea.
it becomes a really powerful tool, even though I made it sound like it's a commercial thing, but it's a really powerful tool, and I use it a lot. And not that everybody should, because they don't shoot like, well, I used to. I haven't shot very much myself these days, but you know, I get thousands and I get 500,000 images that are just digital in my Lightroom catalog.
Yeah. So does this tell me, can I say how many, add up how many, well, if I click Command A, it says, so I shot 3,587 images in that time frame.
Yeah.
I was just curious. Because I'm just going down here. When I click, when I Command A, all those filtered images, the total number of images is 3,587.
And then you can go to the next one and say which camera, which lens.
Right.
And if you got a lens like a 10.5 millimeter, how many times did you shoot with it this year?
Right.
And it's got all the other criteria as well.
Okay. Before we wrap up, I just wanted to do a little bit of looking ahead kind of thing. So we did keywords in next week, we'll be doing the print module, then the slideshow. Then I think there's I think then I have 2 weeks off. Those are when I'm in Florida. And we come back, I think we have 1 week, we'll do the web module, and then we have another week off, and then we'll come back and do the Lightroom. That takes us like to the middle of May. And I probably will add at the end one night where we just, but I need your help. I need you guys to think, well, what do you want to review? What do we want to go over again? Do we want to go back to organization or folders or imports or anything in that we really haven't done? I mean, the beauty of there's lots of great things about Lightroom, but to me, it's all about the develop module. And I don't want to sit here and just work on my own pictures, but people don't seem to want to send their pictures to me for us to work on. But
so why don't we have a night of just having that one person ask us everything they want to know about their what to do with a particular thing or a problem that they have. And
well, I tried that all along. I've been saying do that because we usually end up between 8:15 and 8:30. We're pretty much done. So we certainly have time.
Are you looking for every week to have people send stuff?
If you want to. I think the print module and the slideshow module are going to take up the full time. I don't think the book module I've never used, so I still have to learn that. And then the web or the portfolio, which we could do either or both, that could certainly take up a whole night too. I don't know that the web is that important as much as portfolio is probably the better use of our time. But which is creating a website with Lightroom. It comes free with the Creative Cloud. So, and I'm like halfway through making my own. I haven't made it live yet. I had SmugMug for many years, and I realized I wasn't using it enough to justify the price, especially if I have it free in Lightroom in Adobe Creative Cloud. So I stopped paying that subscription this year. So, I mean, we only have a few more weeks, but I thought, I mean, I guess I could just say, oh, nobody has any questions. Everybody's doing fine. I must be a great teacher. And I just don't think that's the case. I don't know if it's because you're afraid or just not have the time to prepare something, or just don't have that many questions. I don't know.
So sometimes people get confused. So I was trying to follow what you were saying because I had it side by side. I had my catalog open and watching you, and I had them side by side, and some of the steps were lost to me because I wasn't concentrating on you. I was trying to open it up so I could see the last thing you were talking about, and then I got confused where you were. So
right.
I get confused, but it's such a confusing sort of module and use of things, and everybody has multiple uses. I don't think you're doing badly at all. It's just that you weren't prepared to jump into that or have a slow computer, and that all acts as a small buffer for you. So
I know now it's running fine. Now it's going really quick. Like just shutting that down one time and reopening it, all of a sudden went boom. It's working as expected now.
So I forget how the cache actually dissipates from the
Yeah.
the Lightroom. whether or not it's due to a system, system, or just shutting it down and opening it up. But you know, that's something that they're working on too.
Yeah, well, obviously, when I buy my next, now I know more about this cache stuff and a couple other things. I mean, I thought it was all about disk space, and that was more important. And I realized, in this course, actually, some of the things that will make your computer, your program run faster.
Right.
And in the next year or two, I will need a new laptop, so that will be something that I'll be paying closer attention to.
So I don't know
So-
what the buffer is on yours, but
I don't know either. I mean, we can look at does it tell you on here? Well,
no,
I don't know much.
no, this would be in my no, I wouldn't say it there.
No,
I
none
don't
of
think
this
so.
stuff. Okay. Well, anyway, we'll do the next 2 weeks. Are going to do print module and slideshow module. At any time, if anybody has a question or wants to review something, we usually have time to do it. Feel free to email me or contact me. A couple people have. And if we want to do one after, I think there's really only 3 more, right? Print, or I guess book. Print, slideshow, book, and web. There's only 4 more real classes. But I'd love to play with the develop module more myself. But I think it's boring for you guys to be working on my pictures. I would think you'd want to work on your own pictures or work on them together.
So it's more. It's maybe not the pictures. It's more where you're going with it.
Yeah.
Because Sue had a problem but I misunderstood her too when she said it.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't explain it very well.
Well, so it basically is where you were trying to export the entire thing rather than Lightroom, Photoshop.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you were trying to export it out of your system to somewhere else.
Yeah, I don't make the distinction, and I often use the word Photoshop rather than hard drive.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's how I assess it when I want to get to it.
You mean like you want a screwdriver, but you'll get a wrench? Is that the story?
No.
No, more like you're saying a screwdriver, but you really mean tool.
Yeah.
Or something. All right.
Did
Well,
you
thanks.
say that included in that we can do a web page that's included in
Yeah.
there?
Yeah,
What do
the
you call it?
Adobe
Yeah,
Cloud.
that's interesting. How difficult is that?
I'm working on it. It takes some time.
Yeah.
Let's see. Adobe.com.
It's
We'll do it in a
fairly
couple
easy,
weeks,
I
but
think.
let's see. Portfolio, here it is. Well, it is. You have to just kind of think
It's
about it. I mean,
time-consuming.
yeah, it's time consuming.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
starting to set it up because you have choices on all these themes and pay it.
I'm
And I
not sure
like
I'll
I said,
have
I
the
haven't.
patience for it. But we'll see.
If you have time. I mean, so I have like my newborn portraits here. I haven't uploaded some of these. I've uploaded others. These are all my pages that I've started. I've got my categories, and then but I haven't loaded all the images within each category.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So I have some stuff.
Well, my whole thing is very disorganized, so it works all right for me most of the time.
Right. Well, a lot of these are based on my collections. I end up
Mhm.
because I only want I mean, I could use smart collections too, because I only want my 5-star images in
Right.
here.
Mhm.
So because that's how I work. But I actually, when I had my SmugMug account, this is so funny. My first boyfriend found me and emailed me because they went to it was click through my name. I had Joni Rich Photography, and he Googled Joni Rich, and and like 3 years ago he emailed me at my Joni Rich Photography at Gmail account, and I was like, oh my God, that's weird. Because I'm married 46 years. It was a long time ago, people.
Yeah, right.
And I was very young. But he must have been curious one day.
Hey, I'm curious about a couple of people I know I've been trying to search for.
Well, if they don't have a website, usually, I mean, almost everyone's on, not every, but a lot of people are on Facebook.
A lot of people from my school have contacted me too.
Nice. That's nice. All right, folks. Thank you for your patience. I appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thank
Joni.
you,
Always ready.
Jody.
Thank you,
Good
Johnny.
job.
Thanks,
So
Joni.
next week should be fun with the print. I don't
Thanks.
print often, but I do print.
I always go back to Photoshop for printing, but I understand you can't do it in Lightroom.
Yeah, I mean, if I don't have to leave Lightroom, I'd rather not.
Oh, I'm so used to doing it the other way.
Yeah, well,
Hard to teach an old dog new tricks.
I'm gonna try. How's that?
Okay,
All right. Thank you, everybody.
thank
Thanks,
you.
Joni.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Have a
Good
good
night.
week. See you tomorrow night.
Oh, yeah.
Bye.
Oh yeah. 2 nights of this.